let's take a look at 3 new projects. So today we have circuit, motherboard, and the Lightspeed project. So I'm finally able to utilize properly my own product. In a lot of projects that I've made so far, there's just wasn't place for me to actually add some bump maps and stuff like this. And I wanted to focus for a 3-day project on using only my own grayscale maps. So there's a lot happening here. The products that I've been using are, so let's go inside the product page. I'm using here, as you can see, I have the Take It pack. Down below, I have a grayscale tile pack, which is the connector one, I think, or it might be the chipset. I'm not really sure. And in this, I'm also using some of the voltaic. So yeah, for this project, I use these 3 products. For this one, I have one of a new product that I released a year ago, I think, inside of the grayscale tile packs. It's the electronic one, and I'm going to show you on the bridge application, the electronic pack, what I have for you. There's a lot of stuff here. They come also as a normal map. All right, so let's take a look at the first project. So I'm going to open up my daily projects, and we have the circuit. I'm going to open the Blender file, and all the maps are included inside of the Blender, just so you know. And as you can see here, we have the geometry node, and the this is the shader editor, right? I'm going to place a render so we can see what we have. Let's take a look at our scene first of all. We have 2 empties with our light, a camera, and a simple plane. Inside of the node, geometry node, so we have our grid, and for some reason I started something else, as you can see here, but the scale is set to 0. So I tried something else at first, but I kind of left it aside. And as you can see here, the vertices on the grid is 2000, which is a lot. So I'm going to turn that down to 10, just so we can have a more responsive viewport. So yeah, let's delete this. All right, so we have our grid, set material, set shade smooth. So I'm just going to delete the set smooth, and yeah, this is a little bit better. I have a joint geometry, and I have another grid, and I actually have 3 grids, right? They all have their own material, and as you can see in the transform, the second grid is a little bit higher, and the third grid is a little bit more higher. So yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. Everything is joined inside of the geometry, and that's what we have. So let's take a look at the texture. So we have 3 texture, material 1, which is the bottom layer, and let's take a look just at the first layer, right? So this is it. And for this, I used, there's 2 different maps, the chipset tile and the connector tile. So we have a mix color node which goes inside of the displacement, and this is probably why I had like 2000 vertices on the plane. So let's add 2000 back just to see what's happening. And there's a little bit, I'm going to zoom inside, there's just a little bit of displacement on the chipset, and yeah, so that's why I had 2000 here. So I'm going to leave it as it is. We have the displacement, and after that the mix goes inside of the color ramp and is input inside of the base color and the roughness. I also added a gold thickness, so as you can see, if I put that to 0, it's becoming black and white. So I'm going to put this back to 18, I think it was. And we have this kind of gold-plated chipset motherboard. So, okay, this looks fine. Let's take a look at the second layer alone. In the second layer, we have, so let's take a look at what's happening. Material 2. We have the voltaic. And I think I added this as an emissive texture. So yeah, we have an emissive, and I needed to add a texture coordinate mapping to be able to scale it down. And inside of the color ramp, I kind of changed that to constant to be able to have a more contrast around the edges, and I set that to the alpha. Be sure when you have a grayscale map to add the color space to non-color. And after that, I added a color red. We have a sudden emission on the texture, which is nice. And let's take a look at the third. The third is just the ticket pack. So I'm gonna put it, and this goes inside of an alpha. I changed the base color, and that's pretty much it. So let's add everything back together, and we get this nice kind of layered texture. And as far as the lighting goes, it's simply two lights, two big lights, and a long one for some reason. And yeah, this is how I was able to make this. So yeah, I'm really glad I'm finally using my own texture. So let's close this up and take a look at the second project, motherboard. So we have our plane here with the same setup and the same mistake that I didn't get rid of. So let's just change that. We have 3 set materials, again with 3 grades. So this is exactly the same. And let's take a look at the texture. And in here, I added the chipset tile map and the normal map. So as you can see, the color space here is set to sRGB, and I'm going to change that to non-color. And yeah, we have a better, man, I wish I knew that. I just want a little bit, and I'm going to close the cube for now so you can see how this map looks like. So yeah, I love the chipset tile pack. Let's take a look at the second plane, the voltaic, and I decided to add some noise texture inside of the alpha to be able to kind of create this kind of blank space where you could see the actual plane behind it. So if we add the two together, we have this, so we can actually see the chipset. On the upper layer we have this voltaic pack, and let's add the third one. We have a lot of things. We have the Tekit. As you can see here, we see some of the Tekit grayscale and the electronic tile. So I blended those two together. I wanted a bigger hole in the middle, so that's why I added the Tekit pack. And when you blend this together, you kind of get these open areas where you can actually see behind what's happening. We have the normal map, and I just love the way this looks, but it was missing something, so I decided to create a cube and just, scale it. And what I did was add a base color, metallic, full roughness, and just change the alpha so we can see behind that layer. So it kind of created this strip. And let's take a look at the third project. I'm gonna press render, and this is the raw render, right? So let's take a look at the plane. And right now we have inside of the compositor, so as you can see, I added 2 glares, one set to bloom and the other one set to fog glow. And I'm gonna go to my geometry node, and again with my mistake here, but it's fine. So let's take a look at the first one. We have a Tekit pack. So this is the material, this one. We have the Tekit pack, color ramp, base color, and roughness. We have here the emission open. I think I wanted to add some emission, but I ended up not using it. Let's take a look at the second layer. We have, I think this is the, so it's the material 01. So we have the connector tile. And yeah, I added this inside of the alpha as well to kind of have this behind. And I'm going to close up the cube. And I think I have a light right above. So let's take a look at my light for a second. I have a light right above shining down on the plane. So as you can see in the light settings, I changed the spread. And this is how I was able to achieve this kind of straight line. And let's take a look at the third layer. We have the voltaic pack inside of the alpha, and that's pretty much it. And altogether gives us this. And again, I wasn't happy with just having the light, so I added again a cube, and inside of the cube I added the electronic tile. I scale the cube a lot. You can actually see the texture, but yeah, I had to something like 230, and it created this kind of nice lines. So I added an emission color, and that's pretty much it. So it's becoming white because of the bloom that we have. So let's go inside of the compositor, and if I go here, you can see that we don't have the shine in the light. So now I'm gonna add my layer back here, and yeah, that's pretty much what we have. So yeah, that's pretty much it for these 3 projects, very simple setup. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.